Hello. I got my hands full. Welcome back to my haunted library. It's Regina. So I've got the kids with me today, and they just came back from getting their, how cute is she? Getting their spring haircuts. Oh, Lily, come on, show off before you jump down. Aren't they cute with their little matching scarves? This was her first haircut, and her hair had really gotten long, and I wasn't sure what was going to be underneath, like there might be a chihuahua under there, but I was really happy to see that she is in great shape. She's strong, she's sturdy, she's crazy, like really crazy. Even the hairdresser said, I always seem to pick out the wild ones. Lily has really mellowed with age, so she was a little nuts too when we first got her, but Lucky is doing great, and she's really funny. So yeah, it's a really crappy day. In fact, they got a little wet. I woke up to this rainstorm and whipping wind, and I wanted to do some gardening today, but that's not happening. So to, I guess, buoy my mood, I decided to go a little glam today. And I wore this outfit. I went to the theater the other night. We had our opening. And this is a vintage, it's a little open here, so try not to flash. This is a vintage blouse from the 90s, but this was my old blouse. It's always been a little snug, and I'm happy to report I could actually button it. And the skirt is gorgeous. And look, it has pockets. It's a Michael Kors couture with deep pleats, and I just love this skirt. I found it when there used to be this incredible store near where I lived, the Neiman Marcus Last Call. It was like the Neiman Marcus outlet, and you could find couture. I mean, like this probably had a $6,000 price tag on it that I got for like $90 or something. Like it. It was great. Unfortunately, it closed down, but I still have so many of those pieces that I will never part with. And yeah, I love beautiful clothes. I don't know, some people drink, some people take Valium or other pills. No judgment. I buy beautiful clothes. It's just what makes you, what lifts your mood. Anything is okay unless it's in excess. So speaking of glamour, I did check out the Met Gala, and I'm telling you guys, I know I'm a little older, but it's just, where's the glamour? There were a few who stood out as looking pretty good. There was one woman who was really beautiful, who was a Rockefeller or an Astor or something, who was wearing a vintage gown that was stunning. And I have to say, Elon Musk's mother, I know she was a former model, but with her white hair and her black velvet and the jewels that I'm sure were genuine, she looked amazing. But I'm sorry, I cannot get into those Kardashian girls. I've always found them extremely tacky. And Kim Kardashian, why are you wearing Marilyn Monroe's dress? It just felt really gross. For one thing, Marilyn's curves were real. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about it. I feel like I'm being a little bitchy, and if you're fans of them, I do apologize if I've offended you, but I just don't get it, and I never will. Anyway, moving on. I was up till about midnight last night putting out my new release, the third book in the Moondance trilogy, and that is Red Finale. So it's the final battle, if you want to call it that. And I have to tell you, when I got to the end, finally last night, this past week, I did like 4 editing passes, and I believe my eyes were crossed by the end. And when I got to the end, I got teared up, I cried. I really think I wrote a pretty powerful story that takes place over 3 books. So it's about over 150,000 words in total. Like each book is not that long. It's around 55,000 words each. So here is the description. Moondance, so this is the whole trilogy, a deadly dance with destiny. Do you like my alliteration there? A fresh new take on a werewolf shifter romance. Now, it's not as much of a romance as maybe the typical romance, so I have it under paranormal. Hailing from the tough streets of Philadelphia, Rowan McClary takes a chance to better her life when she accepts a dance scholarship in Romania. While forming new friendships and honing her ballet technique, she is torn between two talented brothers. So we've got the triangle, whose family runs the school. As she rises to the top of the ballet world, Rowan uncovers terrifying secrets about a werewolf legacy spanning centuries. Love closes in on Rowan's heart, but so does danger, as the pack of ravaging wolves makes her its prey. Will true love protect Rowan from the long reach of the Volkov family, or will the wolves that howl in the night come to claim her at last? Okay, so that's my description. I guess it's not that bad. It's really hard writing descriptions. Oh, look who came to join me. Hi, baby. Lily is running around somewhere. They're getting along a lot better, but this one is just will not leave me alone, and I kind of love it. Although she does get into a lot of trouble. I'm doing horror mayhem, and that's a whole other thing. I'll talk about that a little bit, but I brought home the books that I had planned to read, and one of them was a short story from Night Shift by Stephen King, and I had a really nice, it wasn't the first edition, but it was like an early edition, really nice hardcover with mint condition with the dust jacket and everything. And I had it in a bag, like a shopping bag under my desk, and guess who got a hold of it? And why she had to go for the Stephen King, I don't know, but she chewed the corner of it, and I immediately went on eBay and spent $50 on a new copy, because that's just how I am. I can't, if there's something, if there's a flaw with something like that, I just can't deal. It's not like I could put the dust jacket back on and think, oh, well, no one will notice. I'll know. And yeah, but that's what having a puppy is like. You have to really hide your shoes and your expensive clothes and things that they can get into. But, it's not the end of the world. So just to wrap up about my trilogy, I really am in love with all of these covers that Consuela Parra did for this series, especially the last one. I feel like that really sums up so much of the story, because there is a scene in the story where a ballerina in her black swan costume from Swan Lake drowns in the Central Park lake. And it's a very dramatic theme that continues to run through the book, all three books. So that the cover could kind of reflect that, I really loved. And I love my main character. I thought she was just lovely, and I feel like I really got to know her, and I loved being with her for this whole journey. So, and I'm proud that I got another book out, and I hope that it will get some readers. I will be doing a giveaway of the print books, the whole set, coming up soon. So, at least I'm done that. The next one is a book that's already complete. It's already on Vella. I just have to get it proofread, and that is Ravenscroft Hall, my first attempt at doing a traditional Gothic romance. So I like this one. So that will be coming out in the next couple of weeks, and then hopefully by the end of June, I will have my next horror book out, Code Red. I'm really excited about that. So yeah, I've been on a roll, and I've been busy. And because of that, I haven't really been that active on BookTube as much as I would like to. Usually I'm watching videos every day and commenting and all this stuff, and I just haven't had the time, especially because Horror Mayhem has started, and there's so many hosts, and I am one of them, but I feel like I haven't participated that much, except I did do a reading vlog for the first book, and I'm currently reading, and that is The Conqueror Worms by Brian Keene. I did a reading vlog that's on my Patreon page, and it's accessible to anyone. You don't have to be a patron to watch. I'll link that below. And then, of course, if you want to join me, that would join my library. You get all kinds of perks. That would be lovely. And I'm going to continue to do a reading vlog for the challenge. So I'm really enjoying The Conqueror Worms. It's great. Like I'm probably halfway through. It's really good. I've read other books by Brian Keene, but I feel like this one, it's one of his maybe earlier books. I feel like there's a lot of ambition in this book. Like, he's really writing hard and in a good way. Like it reminds me a lot of Stephen King. It has that kind of style, that hard-hitting macho, I'm gonna use that word, style, which I like. Why not? What's not to like? So I'm really enjoying it. So the first week of the horror mayhem was read something with like a supernatural creature or cryptid, something. So that's why I chose The Conqueror Worms. Kind of reminds me of Dune with the sandworms, only these are like coming up out of the mud. There's a whole, like the whole world has been flooded and the worms are taken over is the basic idea. And it's good. There's some really good scenes, and it's starting to really build where I left off. Next week is Gothic, so I chose Carmilla, one of the original vampire stories. This is a short, I guess it's like a novella. This is included with another work by Sheridan Le Fanu, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. However, starting on Monday, I'm going away for my annual cabin retreat, and I'm very excited about that. And I'll be there for a few days, and I had planned to just bring a lot of books, bring my guitar so I can work on some songs, and just chill. But now my two sisters, including the one flying in from Washington State, are joining me. So I don't think I'm going to get a lot of reading done. I think we're going to have a great time catching up. And the three of us haven't hung out for a really long time. I mean, over a year. So I'm really looking forward, it might have been 2 years. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them. So I don't know how much reading I'll get done, but I'll try. What else? So starting today, Sunday, and running till Thursday, I'm doing a free giveaway of the first book I've ever published, and that is Unmasked. Because just to celebrate my new release, I thought I would put a freebie up there. If you haven't bought that book yet, here's your chance to get a free ebook. And I'm going to also put the link below the wonderful trailer that Merce from Harpies in the Trees created for Unmasked. Sorry, my battery died, so I just kind of suddenly cut off. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up right now, but I wanted to mention that I had written a prologue that was quite substantial for my book Unmasked. And then I made the mistake of reading too much advice and, the idea of like, well, you shouldn't have a prologue. It slows down your story. I realize now that's ridiculous. And I always regretted not keeping that section in the book because the book is not even that long. I wanted to start with their childhood and just kind of set the stage for the story, but I ended up cutting it. And then I couldn't find it. I had had a computer crash and I bought a new computer since I wrote that book, and I was so upset because it just felt like I had lost this chapter. Here's a little piece of advice for any writers out there. I don't care how much you think what you did sucks. Never destroy anything you've written. I think that applies to any artist. Never destroy your work. Put it in a file someplace that you don't have to look at it, but don't throw it out because you never know. You never know when you're going to pull that out and have a new perspective on it. So I thought it was lost forever, but I found it when I was going through an old external drive that I hadn't looked at for a long time. And I was thrilled to see that it wasn't lost. And I took that as a sign. So I'm going to completely reissue Unmasked. I'm going to get it professionally edited, which will make all my readers happy. I'm going to include the new chapter. I'm going to get a new cover designed, a custom cover, and I may even release it as a special hardback edition if Amazon will allow me. Once it's published in a certain size, you can't resize it, I don't believe, unless maybe you take it down and redo it. I don't know. I'm going to look into it. But yeah, so those are my plans for Unmasked, and I'm very excited. That's going to be one of my monthly releases coming up. Oh, and one last thing. I just wanted to remind any horror tubers out there that the deadline for the next HorrorTube anthology, Lurking in the Dark, is approaching. It is June 1st. I have already gotten some great submissions, but I'm hoping to get more. So keep writing, and please feel free to contact me if you have any questions about that. So I'm going to get going. I have to pack for my cabin retreat. I hope, despite the weather, you have a lovely weekend, and I will see you next time in the Haunted Library. Bye!